I never seen anybody do the things you do before.
Hello everybody and welcome to my kitchen once again. In this video I am going to be showing you how I make my slider buns and also how I make my split top hot dog buns. Delicious, super soft, super buttery. You don't want to miss this recipe. So let's get started. Here is my slider buns, and here is my split top hot dog buns. Delicious. Perfect. Let's start with our ingredients. 1 tablespoon of yeast, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of warm water warmed to 110 degrees, 1 egg, room temp. This is the egg whisked already in the bowl, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and we're going to need some olive oil for the bowl. Here is the bowl of a stand mixer. We're going to add in the water, the yeast, and I am going to add in 1 tablespoon of sugar from what the recipe calls for. You want to make sure that your water is at the correct 110 to 115 degrees. If not, your yeast will not activate. Also, make sure your yeast is not expired. And you want to give it a quick stir. And I'm going to just leave this here between 5 to 10 minutes. And let this baby do its thing. It needs to activate. It is getting activated. You can see from the bubbles on there. And here it has fully activated. So now we're ready for our next step. With your dough hook, we are going to start adding in the whisked egg, add in our melted butter, the rest of the sugar, and the salt. You also want to start adding in your flour. And we are just going to start kneading this until it comes together. Your flour, just start adding it little by little. If you feel that you need more flour, your dough is too sticky, just continue to add tablespoons at a time until it does all come together. You do not want a dry dough, but you do not want it sticky either. Once that's done, lay it out on your floured surface, and we're going to knead this for about 5 minutes. Ultimately, you want to get a nice soft dough. Now you're going to add olive oil to your bowl and spread it around. This helps the dough not to stick to the bowl. And we're going to grab our dough ball and just place it in that bowl. You want to make sure that the whole ball is covered in olive oil. So flip it around and flip it around again. We're going to cover this with saran wrap and let this double its size. I would say it depends how hot, where you live, how hot it is. I'm in Arizona, so it took about 40 minutes for mine to double its size. So just keep checking on it. Usually takes about an hour. You also want to keep it in a warm place. Once that's getting double its size, you're going to want to put parchment paper on your baking trays and just get that ready to go. Mine have doubled its size again. I also want to mention that I did double of this recipe because I am making slider buns and hot dog buns at the same time. We're going to punch down, which is my favorite part, and then you're just going to put it on a floured surface. What I like to do is just roll it in a log, and then I start cutting pieces of it. You want to have these on a scale 47 to 48 grams per ball. Once that's done, we're just going to get it in our hands, flatten it, and then at the bottom pinch it to make a ball. Place it on your baking tray, and we're going to cover that with, we're going to dust it with some flour on top, and then we're going to cover it with saran wrap, and this has to double again, so it could take between 40 minutes to 1 hour. The flour helps the saran wrap not stick to the balls. So that's an important step. And this is going to be the dough for my split top hot dog buns. We're going to punch that down too. That's like my favorite part. Again, put it on your floured surface. And this is the method that I use for the hot dog buns. You want to just flatten it out and then kind of push it from the sides to get a square. Once that's done, you want to cut it in half. And then the halves, you're going to cut it into 4 pieces. And what you do, you're going to want to get one of these strips and just put it to the side, and then you are going to pretty much press down on the sides and make somewhat of a hot dog figure. Just like that. And we're going to put it on our baking sheet. And once you're done with all of them, get a sharp knife and just like make a line, cut it into a line on top. Just like that. And we're going to do the same as we did with the other buns. We're going to put some flour on top. Put the saran. Cover it with the saran, not tight. Just cover it loosely. And these have to rise again between 40 minutes to 1 hour. Once again, just keep checking on it. Here I have 1 egg with 1 tablespoon of milk, and we are going to do an egg wash on top of these buns. Now do not press hard on your buns because you will deflate them. I have made that mistake before. You're going to want to just loosely add it on there. Making sure you get every one. Now that the egg wash is on there, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You can also add those seeds on the buns, but you don't have to. I do like the look of it, so I do add it. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. These are going to bake between 15 to 20 minutes, just until they are golden brown. So just keep checking on it. And they are done. I just love the way these turned out. What you're going to want to do is get some butter, and then with your baking brush, just butter the tops of these babies. It not only gives it a nice shine, but it gives it a delicious flavor. Trust me on that. Ta-da! Your slider buns and your split top buns. Ready for serving. I just love the way that these pull apart. These buns are just amazingly delicious. You will never have to buy these at the stores again. So here I'm just going to show you how I prepped my slider cheeseburgers. This is a mixture of mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, and relish. Drop that baby right on there. You could put pickles if you like. So plop that baby on there. And here you go. Ready to indulge. And the way I do the split top, I cut the top in on that line that we had already cut before. And then you want to just open it up and put your mayo, mustard, whatever kind of stuff that you like on it. Place your weenie on there, and there it is.